Hi everyone, 10-Minute Minds here. Welcome to your weekly roundup of the most important news from September 15th to 21st, 2025. From major political shifts to climate updates, natural disasters, and global security, here's what shaped our world this week. 1. Palestine recognition. In a major shift in global diplomacy, several Western countries, including the UK, Canada, Portugal, and Australia, have formally recognized the state of Palestine. Prime Minister Keir Starmer emphasized that this decision reflects the UK's commitment to international law and a two-state solution. Meanwhile, France is following suit, with President Emmanuel Macron expected to publicly recognize Palestine during the United Nations General Assembly this week. Diplomats say this could reshape international negotiations in the Middle East and put new pressure on Israel. 2. NATO and UK fighter jets in Poland. Tensions in Eastern Europe are also rising. The UK has deployed Typhoon fighter jets over Poland as part of NATO's Eastern Sentry mission. This comes after drone incursions from Russia raised security concerns. NATO says the mission is defensive, ensuring the safety of European airspace while sending a clear signal of unity among member states. 3. Climate Week, NYC and Australia's climate risk shifting to climate. Climate Week 2025 in New York is breaking records, hosting over 1,000 events this week. Corporations, NGOs, and activists are taking center stage, even as national governments face criticism for lagging on climate action. In Australia, a government report warned of escalating climate risks, more frequent heat waves, rising sea levels, and threats to ecosystems. These warnings are fueling discussions on new emissions targets set for 2035. 4. Philippines anti-corruption protests. In Manila, the Philippines saw massive anti-corruption protests known locally as the Trillion Peso March. Tens of thousands of people demanded accountability over alleged misuse of funds in flood control and infrastructure projects. Observers say these protests highlight ongoing frustrations with government transparency and the public's demand for accountability. 5. European airport cyberattack. Meanwhile, in Europe, a cyberattack disrupted operations at several major airports, including London, Brussels, and Berlin. Check-in and boarding systems were affected, causing delays and cancellations. Authorities are investigating the source, while cybersecurity experts warn that attacks on transportation systems are increasingly common and highly disruptive. 6. Netherlands anti-migration protests. In the Netherlands, The Hague saw large demonstrations over migration and asylum policies. Protesters clashed with police, who used water cannons and tear gas. The unrest highlights the ongoing debates over migration in Europe and the pressure governments face balancing security, human rights, and social stability. 7. China. Carbon emissions market. Turning to China, its national carbon emissions trading market, now covering over 60% of the country's total emissions, is reportedly functioning smoothly. This market is a central part of China's climate strategy, aiming to reduce emissions efficiently while providing financial incentives for businesses to adopt greener practices. 8. Typhoon Ragasa approaches China. Typhoon Ragasa is moving towards southern and eastern China, bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and flood warnings. Residents are preparing for potential evacuations, and authorities are monitoring infrastructure for damage. 9. World Athletics Championships highlights. Daniel Stahl of Sweden clinched the men's discus gold with a final throw after a rain-delayed final. Anna Hall of the USA won the heptathlon. Emmanuel Wanyini set a new championship record in the men's 800 meters. Meanwhile, Olympic champion Cole Hocker was disqualified in the 1500-meter semi-final after a clash, showing both glory and drama on the global stage. Iran's freestyle and Greco-Roman teams win World Wrestling Championships in Zagreb. 10. International observances. Finally, this week marked the International Day of Democracy, Sept 15, and World Patient Safety Day, Sept 17. These observances remind us of the global importance of democratic values and healthcare safety, issues that touch billions of lives worldwide. That's it for this week's Roundup. From historic political moves and protests to climate updates, tech developments, and sports drama, our world is as dynamic as ever. Which story caught your attention the most? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for next week's Global News Roundup.